Okay, ask me anything number 9. I got to number 9. Feels weird. I don't think I've ever gotten that far before. Anyway, that's good. That's to be expected, obviously. 26. I'm so much more consistent than what I used to be at 22. So, we're gonna start as usual. The last episode was a bit different. I wanted to go over the ratings, and there was not much time left for anything else. But today, back to just random stuff. And yet, we're still gonna start with football. What I wanted to talk about in terms of football is I'm still trying not to repeat myself too much. But I'm gonna try and give like a very short and brief explanation, but not exactly explanation. I'm just gonna talk about tactics, formation, strategy, and basically this is essential for the game, for a team to be able to play well. So to win in football, team sport, you need to play well together. How you play well together is by having an understanding. Everyone is on the same page. Everyone has an understanding of what the strategies, tactics, formations, all this. I know it sounds like I'm just throwing words around. Strategy, tactics. Okay, let's just give some definitions. Formation. Let's start with this. They're all simple, but anyway. The formation is the setup of your players on the pitch. When you go on these apps, SofaScore, LiveScore, I don't even know what they are. I know SofaScore, that's what I use. They give you like a rough estimate of the formation that this team is going to be using. Nowadays, it's quite difficult to actually know what formation teams are playing, because they're a lot more fluid. They transition. They start in a certain formation when they at kickoff, and then all of a sudden, I've seen teams change formations 3 times during the game, and then so many teams attack in a certain formation but then defend in a different one. So formations nowadays, that's quite complex, I would say, and it's not as simple as it used to be. Before, it used to be much more simple. So as a general advice, look at the players, look at the personnel. Okay, who is the guy playing on that position? Does he actually play there? Or if it doesn't, then you must know that that formation doesn't really reflect reality. So because of that reason alone, I don't really engage in discussions anymore about teams, players, all that. Why? Because it's meaningless for me, at least. It makes no sense. It's like arguing and talking about politics. I don't know what's going on. Even if I watch the news, even if I'm on the internet all day looking up politics or what's going on, is Russia attacking this guy or I don't know. I don't know. Someone is controlling all the information that gets to you, so you don't really know. So if you don't know that, what's the point talking about it, arguing? Yeah, a waste of time mostly. Anyway, back to football. It's the same with formations. Like, unless you watch a team every single week and every single game, and then you break the game down after you watch it, you don't really know what's going on. You're just watching 11 or 22 players kick the ball around. You can kind of notice some patterns, but you can notice some patterns depending on how well you understand the game and how carefully you're watching, but in general, you don't really know what you're seeing. So if you don't really know what the team is trying to actually achieve, then how are you going to judge the players whether they've played well or they've played bad? It's very complex. So that's why I personally don't do it. I used to. I used to be the worst person to talk about football with. Not the worst, but I would really, if you 10 years ago, you come and talk to me about football, you leave the room convinced of my point of view. I would enforce it. There is no getting away with it. I would do everything to enforce my point of view on you. So wherever I thought, everyone else thought the same. A couple of people, obviously there were outliers who wouldn't accept what I'm saying, but in general, we didn't really talk about it anymore. So yeah, that's why I stay away from it. So now let's just add a little bit of knowledge in that area. Then we're watching the game. What you need to try and understand is every team has a strategy and tactics, which nowadays I would say is more important than the formation that you're seeing. Obviously, people put a lot of weight into the formation, okay? But as I said, the game is very fluid nowadays, difficult to judge the formations unless you watch the game twice maybe and really analyze it, break down every play, break down the possession. Every time the team is in possession, then break down every time the team is out of possession, then da 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 da, and all this, okay? So I got distracted, someone texted me. Refocus. Strategy and tactics. Strategy, okay, as a general definition, strategy is what are you going to do, okay? Tactics is how you're going to do it. Let's say strategy, okay? My strategy for the game tomorrow is I want to get the ball to my wingers and attack from there, and they're gonna make something happen, okay? This is my strategy. This is what I want the team to do tomorrow. Get the ball to the wingers, create from the wings, okay? This is the strategy. Now, how am I going to do that? How? There is a million different ways of getting the ball to the wingers and a million different ways of attacking for the wings. So my tactics are going to be how exactly is the team going to get the ball there? Okay, is the keeper just going to kick it long? Okay, are we going to get the ball to the center mids maybe, and then they start playing behind the back, boom, 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 out wide, yeah? Or are we going to start playing short? The wingers may become a little bit short, drop in, play to their feet, and then. So I'm just from the top of my head, I give you 3 different options. So this is the tactics. The strategies, get the ball to them, and then see what happens. The tactics is how specifically, what methods am I using to achieve that. So in order to play together as a team, yeah, everyone needs to understand that. Everyone needs to be on the same page. You cannot have your centre back thinking we need to get the ball to the winger and keep booting the ball long, and then at the same time your centre mid wants to play is coming short to receive because he's thinking that because he also wants to get the ball to the winger. So he drops short. He goes short to receive, to take the ball off of the centre back, and at the same time that centre back, boom, boots the ball long. So who is wrong in that situation? This is a very clear example of what actually happens when you go and play at a very low level. Everyone's got their own idea. You know whose fault it is? It's the coach's fault, because the coach didn't make it clear. Are we going long, or is the midfielder coming to pick the ball off from you? It's the coach's fault. I've seen this happens every time. Let's say you go and play 7-a-side. The centre back, boom, goes long. The centre mid has just dropped into and wanted to receive the ball to his feet so then he can play. And they're both arguing, oh, I'm coming short, da, 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 da. And then the centre back, but I had the long pass, blah, 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 blah. The problem is you don't communicate, you're not on the same page. You need to clarify all that beforehand. Save so much trouble. You need understanding of these things. I don't think you cannot be successful unless you know all that. And then that's gonna save so many arguments. Like, for example, my teams, when they play, there is almost no arguing. Yeah, I don't remember any arguments. Why? Because I make everyone's role and responsibilities are clear. And everyone else knows what this guy is supposed to do, what that guy is supposed to do. So that makes it very difficult for them to argue. If this guy doesn't do his job, it's obvious. If that guy doesn't do his job, it's also obvious. If this guy is not where he was supposed to be, it's obvious, because I don't leave people guessing. I leave very little to chance. I don't like that. So I would give as much information to my players as possible, so they know when I'm in this situation, under those circumstances, my options are this and this and that. If that's the case, then I need to move here. If the case is whatever, otherwise, then I go there. Very simple. Very simple. Obviously, this is the coach's job, but let's say you're in a situation where your coach hasn't made that clear. Then what you can do is you go before the game and try and talk to your teammates who are close to you. Okay? The team, if you're a centre mid or if you're a right back, go and talk to your centre back. If you're a right back, go and talk to the centre mid, centre back, right mid or right winger or whatever you've got there. Talk to them. Ask them, hey, do you want me to play you this way or do you want me to play you that way? Okay? Do you want me, if you have a striker or someone, do you want me to play you behind the back? Do you want me to play to your feet? Where do you like the ball? Okay, how do you like to play? Have this understanding, communicate. You can do that with your teammates. Obviously, if you're a player. If you're a coach and you let your players just guess, I don't like that. Is it difficult to balance this with have enough structure but then allow for creativity? Yes, it's not very easy. If it was easy, everyone would be top level coach or manager or whatever. It is difficult. It takes experience and understanding and making mistakes and fixing your mistakes and understanding the personalities of your players, all that stuff. Okay? So I wanted to make sure that this is understood. Imagine if everyone knew this and understood this, there would be so few arguments. So few arguments. The arguments would be about, no, we're gonna play the way I said we're gonna play, not you. That's basically it. Think about it. All the other arguments, they're gonna be gone. Why? Because what is there to talk about? We all know what we're doing. When we all know what we're doing, the guy that doesn't do his job, everyone else will know. So take our bone simple, very simple. All you can argue about is if someone is selfish, doesn't like to pass, or if someone doesn't like to run. But that's it. That's so much simple. You're not arguing about decisions because you all know this is supposed to be that way, that is supposed to be this way. Boom, simple. Oh, it's so nice to play that way. It's so nice to play that way. And this, what I just mentioned, what I've been talking about for 15 minutes, is exactly why I don't play anymore. Because I don't enjoy playing like that. I don't enjoy playing at low level. Okay? I even consider, yeah, I wouldn't go and, I don't have fun playing with people that don't have a clue. Even if I've played with good players technically, and I still play with good players that are good technically, and they still don't have a clue about any of that. And it's just not, I don't enjoy it. I enjoy playing football and playing football properly. You play it together as a team collectively. It's so nice when everyone knows what their role is. Everyone is doing their job. Everyone is working together. The engine is firing on all cylinders, just working like a well-oiled machine. That's the best feeling. That's the best feeling. And once you've experienced this, then oh, it's so annoying to play with people that think they know. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Mate. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about this for now. Maybe next time I can go into some more detail about some how certain formations work. That's basically how certain formations work. What tactics work with what formations, pretty much. Yeah, I might go into a bit more detail on that next time. Now, let's go back to the questions because I haven't answered any questions. Uh, and also, if anyone has any questions, send them in anywhere, any social media or whatever. So let's see, let's scroll. I've answered this, I've answered that. I need to start deleting the questions I've answered because I'm just scrolling through questions and I've answered maybe 40, 50, 60% of them. What's more important, following your head or your heart? There you go. We go back to these difficult questions. What's more important, following your head or following your heart? Well, I would say my answer to this question is it's not very common, but it's what it is. I would say in 99%, I was going to say 99.9, 99% of the time, it is so much better to follow your head. And just to clarify, follow your head or your heart. What does your heart tell you exactly? I'm going to tell you what. Nothing. Nothing comes from the heart. Apart from blood, there is nothing there. All the heart says is tudup, tudup, tudup. That's all. That's all. The heart. Heart. The heart's function is to pump blood, basically. The heart is a muscle. That's it. What's more important, following your head or your biceps? Muscles, mate. So, anyway, I'm being funny. I'm being yeah, anyway. The question is, be logical or be emotional, pretty much. When you put it that way, um, I'm just reading some arguments. People are arguing, and I'm just seeing. I don't like arguments. Arguments are silly. That's just a little bit off topic. Anyway, back to the questions. If you rephrase that question, or logic or emotions, it becomes so much easier to give the right answer. Obviously, emotions are, even the most logical person in the world, potentially me, potentially, we don't know for sure, even the most logical person in the world, unless he's a psychopath or a sociopath, I don't know the word, everyone experiences emotions. Okay, so emotions are there. You cannot escape them. But accept that fact, move past it. Now, if you do your best to base your decisions on logic and on where you want to go, that's gonna be the best plan of action. Okay? Because following your heart, your emotions, let's call it heart, because it sounds better. Your heart is gonna take you this way today, and tomorrow is gonna take you that way. Okay? I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say me. I'm a very curious person. I've already said that. Today, I'm interested in this thing. Tomorrow, I wake up and I see something else. Oh my God, and this is so interesting to me. And now my heart is telling me, I'm excited. I'm excited about that stuff that I've just learned about. Oh, yeah, let's go. That's so, oh my God, my head, blown my mind. I'm so into it now. A couple more days go by. Kind of, I move past it. I see something else. Oh no, that's so interesting. Then this, then that, then this, then that. Imagine I just follow this. So one day I'm gonna be like, oh, I want to be this. Then 3 days later, oh, I want to be that. No, I accept it for what it is, but I don't go in that direction. I explore. I indulge my curiosity. So I study those things, But at the end of the day, I keep the main thing the main thing. I keep going in the direction that I've decided to go. And I've decided to go in that particular direction a long time ago. Once I've made that decision, it's done. I've made the decision. I've made the decision. My heart may want to go in a million different directions. We can't have that. We cannot have that. If you're a girl, maybe yeah, but I'm betting, I don't even know who watches this, and whatever is probably going to be 99% boys, men, whatever it is. So your heart is most likely gonna take you nowhere. That's the reality. That's the reality. I'm trying to say the right things. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot by saying something so over the top that puts me in a bad position. Maybe 5 or 10 years from now, someone comes back, watches that video and says, oh my God, this guy's probably a psychopath or something like this. So I don't want to go over the top with saying just ignore all this heart. What is that? But you're gonna have things from your childhood, yeah, that are gonna bring out emotions in you when you're an adult. Okay. Where was I gonna go with that? You have those, yeah. You need to, at least that's my experience and what I've read. If you're an adult now, you need to look back at your childhood and see what you were enjoying then and what were you good at and all those things, and what was what made a big impression on you, because those things, it's going to be very difficult for you to escape or to move on from those things, if that makes sense, unless you have been through some massive change. But look back at your childhood and look for things there to base your next steps. Yeah. Okay. I didn't answer well, but I keep getting distracted. I shouldn't have put my watch on. Right. Again. Now I'm slightly annoyed. Next time I'll go on airplane mode. But anyway, look, I'm sweating. Oh my god. And then let's bring it back to the center. What does that have to do with my character? All that. Nothing. So stay calm, whatever happens. Back to the answer. When you pick something to do or to follow, pick wherever if you can find something that you enjoy and that you're good at, pick that. Pick that, stick to that. Logically. Okay? Stick to that. Obviously, I'm talking about emotions. I'm talking about emotion/feelings versus logic in terms of where you're going in your life. If you're basing the questions off of like a relationship or something, I'm not the person to give advice on relationships. Relationships, do whatever you want to do. Okay, my general advice in terms of relationships is you look, if you're gonna go and meet someone, and you like them, work it out, be loyal, and try and stay with that person. Okay, people are very similar. As much as people are different, they're all similar. If you put in enough work into, creating a relationship with someone, it can work. It's not all about, I know, all those movies and all that. Oh, it's about feelings, passion, At the end of the day, okay, if you look at what a family is, of course, your mom and dad, they love each other and all this. But after 30 years or 40 years or 20 years together, the most important thing is for them to be they're friends, okay, and they get along. How you get along with someone, it's not feelings. No, it's you understand each other. You've got some established rules. You've got a routine. You've got this. You've got that. You've got a structure on which you have built your understanding, and you live together based on that. Yeah, all this can be built. Building requires work. So that's it. Passion, yeah, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. I guarantee you can feel very attracted to. You can feel very like passion, emotions for at least 1 million different people if you met them today, okay, and then let's say I'm gonna have 1 million dates in a row with different people now, and then after the date with the first person, they erase it from my memory, and then I go on a date with another person, and they're all, given that they're all attractive, they're all nice, nice to have a conversation, I can all like all 1 million of those dates, okay? So that thing that there is like a special person, I don't, it's difficult for me now to believe in that. So every person can be special as long as you're willing to put in the work. That's what actually, in my opinion, makes someone special. That this other person was willing to put in the work for you or with you. So this is the relationship aspect of that question. So it's again heart, not so much heart, is head. For your head, emotions, solid. Place your feet on the ground and stay there. Stay grounded, solid, solid base, solid foundation. Don't go up there in the clouds, right? Stay solid. You stay solid with this. Emotions are not solid at all. The word solid means something robust, means something to be solid. It needs to have a shape, structure that is set. If it wasn't, it would be liquid or whatever else it is. Just one sec, let me just answer this. On my watch, because I'm very high tech. 15 min. Busy. So high tech. Okay, there you go. Solve a problem. Move on with my podcast. In peace. Zen. Okay. That's the answer. Now I've answered the relationship side. I'm not a relationship coach. Okay. So let's fix this. Yes, nice. All right. Fix again. Perfect. It's annoying, isn't it? Anyway, when you base where you want to go, so let's say what you want to do. Oh, my head is telling me do this and do this thing, but then my heart, I want to play the guitar. Again, logic. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. The amount of things that I've wanted to do and still maybe want to do in my life is more than what I actually have time to do, even if I live to be 300 years old. Let me give you a couple. I wanted to be a football player. No time for that anymore. I wanted to be I don't know, like an artist. I like drawing. I used to be very good. I used to not to be very good. I used to be, I would say, quite special when I was young. Not special in the negative meaning of the. I was really good at drawing. Like really, really good. I could have done something with it. I love superheroes. You know, Wolverine, Captain America, all these guys. I love everything about them. Okay, superheroes, not writing, drawing comic books, doing all that. Oh my god! Even now, talking about this, I want to do it. But then again, can you imagine me with this majestic beard? Me, this person that looks like I'm coming straight out from Sparta. Can you imagine me drawing? No. So it's out the way. But I wanted to do it. My heart was telling me, that's for you. Even not just my heart. Some of my relatives were saying, oh, you can't waste this talent. Blah 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 blah. Well, I have wasted it or whatever. Anyway, what else do I want to do? I want to write books. I want to be. I wanted to be maybe a physicist or mathematician. That's out the way. I want to be a runner. I wanted to do track and that would have been fun. Athlete, Diamond League or whatever. That would have been fun. Maybe I could have been a great fighter. That would have been fun. Not fun, but nice. Basketball, tennis. I want to achieve elite level and proficiency in all those things. Coach, football coach, maybe a coach in a different sport as well. Write a book. Start a podcast. You see, so many things. I like all those things. I have so many interests. I cannot possibly do all that. So, what do I listen to? How do I make the choice? Well, I make the choice. What does my personality and my skills? What is my personality? And then, what am I best suited for? Okay, I've already invested something like 10,000 hours or 15,000 hours in football. Okay, maybe about 10,000 hours of playing, and maybe another, I don't know how many thousand hours of studying. Not as much, but I'm getting there. My personality is what it is. Okay, I'm analytical. I like thinking. I like solving problems. Okay, I like I'm interested in the human nature, human psychology, philosophy, all those things. So that, if you think about, make a list, and you're reading all these things, that would position me best to become a great football coach. So I decided, like a long time ago, if I'm not a player, I'm going to be a coach. I think I was probably I definitely know for a fact, I was 14 when I decided that. I decided that I haven't changed anything. Do I have these little side quests? I do this and I do that. Yeah, but I've made the decision and that's it. I'm going to change my decision when I'm dead. Okay? Until I die, that's the plan. I can do many other things. I'm probably going to write a book. I am writing a book, but I don't want it to sound like a big deal, because writing a book, that's so difficult, and I'm nowhere near close to having anything good yet. The point is, I've made a decision, very logical decision for a 14-year-old. I'm shocked that I knew what I wanted to do, and then I didn't deviate, although I had all these different interests, and decided to do what I wanted to do, and that's it. That's it. It comes at a cost. You sacrifice all these alternative, like, potential futures. Well, that's it. As I said earlier, you can only do so much. So you decide whatever you want to do, base it on what you're best at and what you like doing. Hopefully, these two things are the same. If they're not the same, I would still go with, what do you like doing? No, I would still go with, what can you potentially be best at? Okay, because enjoyment is gonna come from being good at something. You don't believe that, then you haven't really been very good at something. Okay? If you're really good at something, you will find a way to enjoy it, most likely. Unless you've been forced into something, then maybe you need to pivot. Maybe. But again, I took about 25 minutes to answer this question. Hopefully, I gave you a couple of different angles. What is the biggest problem in this generation of men? Oh, that's about men. Mate. Oh, mate. I need to stop saying the word mate. Biggest problem. Honestly, there's so many problems I don't even know which one to mention. Biggest problem is that everyone is very feminine. Everyone is very emotional. I just don't like that. So emotional. Again, you've got there's so much propaganda that it's difficult to say what I want to say, because to answer this, what I mean by everyone is so emotional, it's gonna take me hours. Okay, because, well, again, I've got this long format exactly specifically because of that, because otherwise I cannot really say what I think and what I mean, because there is no time for me to express my actual thoughts. And I don't want people to get the impression that by not be emotional, I mean toxic masculinity or whatever the fucking, oh, I shouldn't swear, the propaganda is toxic masculinity, this guy, that guy. That's a long pause. The biggest problem is, again, people are emotional and people do not think with their own heads. They're guided by their emotions. Because of that, people like, if you think about Andrew Tate, I don't even dislike him. Like, I liked him in the beginning. One of the funniest men alive he was in the beginning. But all he's done, and I just want to say before I continue, I hate with a passion all those people that make videos analyzing Andrew Tate. Oh, he's this, he's that. I'm not one of them. I'm just giving an example. What he did is he played to people's emotions. He's funny. He says some things that people consider over the top, but then they don't listen to him explain his points of view. And because people are so emotional, he just took advantage of all that, became so famous, and did all this. Because people are so emotional, even. But then how he makes his money is again from people being emotional. So he's saying you should be strong, you should be this, you should be that, but all he's selling you is an image that resonates with people on an emotional level. You know, the amounts of people that I've heard say, yeah, I want to retire my mom and have freedom and travel the world. All that, where does that come from? What kind of goal is that? Like, that is a goal, but that's what Andrew Tate is. He plays on people's emotions. plays on people's emotions because people are so emotional. If you're emotional, that does make you weak. It makes you weak. And me saying the biggest problem with men is that they're emotional is when you're emotional, you're easy to control. You're so easy to control. Some smart people, they can push your buttons easily. When someone is emotional, it's very easy to push their buttons because you see the reactions. You see, okay, I push that button, I get this reaction. I push that button, I get that reaction. So it's very easy. You get information back. Imagine trying to push the buttons to someone that has like a stone face and is very stoic. You do something to him, he's like calm. You do something else to him, he's still calm. You're trying to attack him this way, calm. That way, calm. All you get is calm. Then you cannot get to him because you don't know what to do. Understand? That's why being emotional makes you weak, makes you a easy target. And now I'm gonna kind of actually explain what the matrix is because it's very commonly used, this term. Oh, the matrix. I need to escape the matrix or the rat race from some delusional people that don't know what they're talking about, mostly kids. The Matrix, even if you actually watch the movie itself is based on a really nice, incredible idea. It was proposed in philosophy. I don't remember the name of the guy, but I've read about the idea. It's from a long time ago. Then they made the movie based on that idea, which is philosophical. That's why the movie was good as well. But what the Matrix is, people misunderstand it as to, because they're, again, not great thinkers. Oh yeah, well, you want to be free, not just go and work some stupid job and 9 to 5, blah, 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 as if that makes you part of the Matrix. Yeah, the Matrix, what it actually is if you listen to Morpheus or whatever, you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, but it's there. Exactly. It's not a job. It's not whether you work 9 to 5 or whether you work 2 hours a week. It's not whether you make 1,000 a month or 1 million or billion a month. It's not about this. It's about what goes on here, how you think. If you cannot think with your own head and disengage emotionally from what's going on in the world and all that propaganda going on around, then of course you live in the Matrix. You're part of the Matrix. That's all it is. Is having your thoughts controlled. That's what it is. I don't care if you're a millionaire and you waste all your money laying on a beach. So what have you done? Oh, you have escaped the Matrix. So? And? No, you're still part of the Matrix because you're still stupid. You're just stupid and you just have a little bit of money. You have no positive impact. You talk to people about stupid things like money. Not that it's that stupid, but they're not top of the priority list, are they? More accurately, is it? Money is not top of the priority list, is it? Anyway, so what are you doing? You're still there. You still have the same mindset. I'll drive a fast car. You're still part of the Matrix. You like what everyone else likes. You do what everyone else does. You think the way everyone else thinks. So where have you gone? Where have you exited? No, you haven't. You're still there. Okay? What job you do, that's got nothing to do with it. Whether you work 9 to 5 or not. All that matters is how you do what you do and what impact you have on people around you. Is it positive or negative? When you do things, Do you do your best or do you not? Do you strive for improvement and self-mastery or not? These things are important. That's got nothing to do with your job. You may be a bricklayer or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. If you wake up every day and you've got one thing in mind, I need to be the best bricklayer possible, best bricklayer that I can be, and you go and you do your job to the best of your ability, and you strive to get better every day, and it actually gives you like a sense of fulfillment or whatever you call it, then doing fine. And then if you do your best, if you live up to your moral code or whatever it is, then that's good enough, isn't it? That's good enough. What matrix are you talking about? If you raise good children, if you manage to do all these things, read books, you get better every day. Okay, you look after the people that you like and all this and all that. Try to leave things better than you found them. That's good. That's good. But trying to push all these narratives, it's just, yeah. Propaganda only works because people listen to it. Don't listen to it. Make up your own mind. Read books. Read books. Don't listen to the news. Read books. Read books. That's one of the single most important things you can do in your life. Imagine if I read books when I was young. Oh my God, probably would have been the president of the world by now. I hated reading books. I'm like, that's a waste of time. You know why? Because no one had time to explain to me how important it is, and no one had the time to actually get me into it. I was supposed to read this book and that book and that book, which are like stories, like classic stories about Hansel and Gretel and all that stuff. I didn't understand it. It couldn't get to me. Someone should have said, you know why? Because this, that, da 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 da. Maybe I would have started, I don't know. Maybe not. You never know. But still. Turn off the TV, open the books, start thinking, start reading. That's it. That's how you start fixing yourself. And yeah, explore the opposite point of view. Stop trying to, you hear something, you kind of like it, and then you run with it. No. To be free, you need to actively challenge yourself every day. That's the only thing that can make you free. If you do not challenge yourself, you're gonna be a prisoner, whether it's to your emotions or to your point of view. You're never gonna be free. You need to try and detach yourself from your point of view. Your point of view is not you, and you and your not point of view. Your point of view is just something that you hold here, but you can let it go. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, if you come across data and information, new information and data that renders that view inaccurate, that's about it. But I'm gonna finish with this. The problem that people run into when trying to do this is what it's a bias in the brain. I've talked about it before. Mental bias, which is called cognitive dissonance. What it is when a person holds, not holds, but let's say holds to contradicting beliefs, or let's call it beliefs or statements, whatever you want to call it. So you have this point of view, this belief in whatever it is. and then you see something that contradicts it, and now at the same time in your brain it clashes. But I thought it's this way, but now I'm seeing no, it's that way. And this creates anxiety, or obviously basically distress. It makes you uneasy. So one of those views, beliefs, need to go. Okay? So for example, you are vegan. Yeah, meat sucks. You shouldn't eat meat. Vegan. You should only eat plant-based foods. Okay? Plant-based diet. Oh, that's the way. And then you see a study saying veganism is bad. Da 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 da. And it gives you the research is well made. The information looks solid. So now your belief is all of a sudden is being contradicted by this new information that you see. So now you're like, oh God. Now one of those two things need to go. So what your brain does is the brain will start making up stories and justifications for that new thing to go. No. That needs to go. That's not the case. That can't be. No way. But what if that's true? Then and that's what cognitive dissonance is. Your brain protects you because you cause anxiety, you cause stress. Your brain doesn't want stress, so it tries to get rid of it. How it does that is by rejecting that kind of automatically. We all know people. You tell them something that they disagree with, don't even think about it. No. They don't even think about it. Immediately, boom, reject. That's immediate defense mechanism. Boom. Doesn't even get to. It's not even taken into consideration. Not even for a second. That's the definition of being defensive, and defense mechanism, coping mechanisms, whatever you want to call it. So cognitive dissonance. That's what it is. One of those contradicting beliefs need to go to relieve you of the stress and anxiety that you feel. That's what propaganda does, basically. Okay? And then once something gets to your head, then you start finding new things to support it. And then you start going into this, going deeper and deeper, and you basically you dig your own grave. Pretty much. That's not the best terminology, but yeah. So to protect yourself from that, always you go actively and look for find the opposing point of view. Okay? I'm gonna tell you last thing. When you do that, when you're discussing things, or let's say this is all just internal. You don't have like a discussion partner. You're not talking to someone. You're just thinking about, and you're just thinking for yourself, and you just you wanna make sure you've done your best to be logical and objective. So what you want to do is you want to see whatever your point of view is or your belief. Go and look for the opposite. Okay, find the other side of the coin. Let's call it that. Find it, and then it's called Steelman the other point of view. So you're Steelmanning it. Basically, people use that phrase. Steelman means you see the other argument and you try to make the other argument as strong as possible. Okay? So whatever the argument is, you try to see the holes in the argument and make the argument whole. and very as strong as possible. That's called steel manning. What most people do is they try to straw man it. So women are very professionals at this. Not just women, but obviously so I had to throw it in. You say something to a girl. You say, to be fair, yeah, that dress, I don't think that dress suits you. For example, you say that to your girlfriend, and then she comes back and says, "Oh, so what you're saying? I'm fat and ugly." This is straw manning. What she does is she's straw manning. So he takes what you said and tries to find holes in it and makes it and tries to make it sound as bad as possible. So he's gonna basically twisting your words in a bad way. So this is straw manning. So whenever you're looking at the opposing argument to whatever you're thinking about, whatever the topic is, don't do that. Do the opposite. Steel man. Reinforce it. Make it strong, and then compare strong argument to a strong argument. Don't try to find holes first. First, try to make it strong. Okay, if that's the case, in order for this to be true, all right, let's say this should be that way, that should be this way. Try and make everything work for the opposing argument first. Try to accept it fully, and try to answer all these gray areas. Try to find a good answer for them, and then whatever you end up with, then compare it to your own point of view and see, okay, this is mine. I've spent a long time steel manning my point of view. I'm going to compare it to this other argument. So let's see. Let me try and weigh positives and negatives. Okay. So that's it. That's the best way. That's how we move forward. Like a scientist, or not scientist, but using scientific method. Basically, moving forward intelligently. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. You want to do your best, but you want to be very critical of yourself. You want to put yourself through a rigorous testing, daily testing of your beliefs and your opinions, because you don't want to be one of those guys that they just don't want to see what things as they are. They just have their opinions and that's it, and you're stuck with them. They make it part of their personality. That's not great, and it's not smart. Okay, so I'm finished. 1 hour and 2 minutes. I need to go, and I'll be back next week.